Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where we are and what the hell we're doing and what's going on with this Isaiah guy?
Well, we just finished Isaiah chapter 22.
We sure as fuck did.
And I think in the last episode we got confused.
Sure.
So, I don't remember much, honestly, about it other than they were talking about this guy. They got blown into another country. And I can't even remember the first part. They were surrounded or something. And they were captured before they were captured.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's lots of prophecies.
Some stuff like that. Yeah, prophecies. Yeah, there were prophecies.
Yeah.
And they were vague as fuck.
Very vague. Yeah.
So, having done chapter 22 yesterday, that means we are getting into what today?
Isaiah chapter 23.
All right, you ready to do this?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we are hopping back into Isaiah chapter 23.
Okay.
And we got more oracles coming.
Oh, boy.
See, here's the thing, though.
Wait, more oracles? You mean like
prophecies?
Oh, okay.
See, that's what I was just going to say. Like, sometimes they're referred to as oracles, and sometimes they're referred to as prophecies.
Yeah. I thought oracles were people.
Well, an oracle is a person, but you can also deliver an oracle, which is a prophecy.
Oh, okay.
It's like prophecy is two separate words, but oracle covers both. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just trust me.
It's a thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A prophecy against Tyre.
Up against, this is a city, maybe?
Tyre.
Tyre. Okay, Tyre.
Tyre.
Got it. Yeah.
Tyre.
Sure.
I like Tyre.
Yeah, Tyre.
Okay. Wail, you ships of Tarshish. For Tyre.
Is that whale? I'm sorry.
Whale.
I can never tell if you're saying well or whale when you say
whale.
Like, whale. Okay.
Whale.
Okay.
Like
it's
crying
just that sometimes
and wailing.
It's just that sometimes you jump into like a
Whale.
southern accent, and so I can't really tell.
Right.
So I have to ask.
Okay, so he's telling the ships to wail, like to mourn and moan and groan.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, wail, you ships of Tarshish, for Tyre is destroyed and left without house or harbor. From the land of Cyprus, word has come to them. Be silent, you people of the island, and you merchants of Sidon, whom the seafarers have enriched.
Oh, there's this. Wait, the seafarers. Didn't we cover them back in?
We did.
Wasn't that like vague group of people that no one knew exactly who they were?
Like they just
possibly
sometimes came up.
And that was back in like Exodus maybe, or somewhere in that time frame. It was early on.
It was early on. Yeah.
I don't know that they're referring to the same people, but it's interesting.
It is interesting.
That it came up sort of.
Right. I just find it interesting that the phrasing of this is always, do this, you guys. Do that, you guys.
Right.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Just the phrasing.
It is.
Sorry. Okay. I'm continuing now. On the great waters came the grain of the shy whore. The not shy whore.
Yeah,
not a whore that's shy.
Right.
It's the name of a city or something.
Got it.
Shy whore. The harvest of the Nile was the revenue of Tyre, and she became the marketplace of the nations. Be ashamed, Sidon, you fortress of the sea, for the sea has spoken. I have neither been in labor nor given birth. I have neither reared sons nor brought up daughters. This is very poetic.
Yeah.
When word comes to Egypt, they will be in anguish at the report from Tyre. Cross over to Tarshish. Wail, you people of the island. Is this your city of revelry, the old, old city whose feet have taken her to settle in far-off lands? Who planned this against Tyre, the bestower of crowns, whose merchants are princes, whose traders are renowned in the earth? The Lord Almighty planned it, to bring down her pride in all her splendor, and to humble all who are renowned on the earth.
So this is God again taking vengeance against people that do not worship him, and that, and again, this is a prophecy, so it's something that's apparently going to happen,
Right.
not necessarily that has happened.
Right.
And because they are prideful and don't worship him and probably worship some sort of an idol or whatever, he's going to kill them.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
I'm trying to clarify, like it's very beautifully written, but it's also very dark and
murdery.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Edgar Allan Poe, kind of. Like,
yeah.
And then they walked the dark hallway and he slit the throats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yikes. Till your land as they do along the Nile, daughter Tarshish, for you no longer have a harbor. The Lord has stretched out his hand over the sea and made its kingdoms tremble. He has given an order concerning Phoenicia, that her fortresses be destroyed. He said, no more of your reveling, virgin daughter Sidon, now crushed. Up, cross over to Cyprus. Even there you will find no rest. Is he like having these people just keep traveling everywhere?
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Like, I'm not really following it.
Well, and he's mentioning so many different places that are, nearby, that I feel like you could say about any number of things that might have happened back in those days. Oh, that kind of happened, so that was real.
Right.
That was a real prophecy. That happened.
It feels like he's following after them, and the people are just like running with their hands in the air, and they're like, ah! And the God is coming after them and like raising the town and knocking everything down, and then the people move on to the next town going, ah, there's a God after us, and then the God knocks that next town down.
I'm kind of imagining that scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail where the artist is drawing the monster and is chasing them through the caves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Only that's God with regard to the Egyptians and the Ethiopians and Assyrians.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at the land of the Babylons, this people that is now of no account. The Assyrians have made it a place for desert creatures. They raised up their siege towers. They stripped its fortresses bare and turned it into a ruin. Wail, you ships of Tarshish, your fortress is destroyed.
Man.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. At that time, Tyre will be forgotten for 70 years.
Just 70, though.
The span of a king's life.
Okay.
But
why would we forget it, though?
I don't know.
Like it's going to fall and then we're just going to forget about it instantly for 70 years?
Remember how there used to be a town over there? No. Remember how this road goes to this town? Does it? I don't remember that.
You'd be that one person that was like, I know this was a thing, god damn it.
I would.
Where the fuck, what happened to Tyre? I know it was here. Everybody seems to have forgotten that this was a thing. And what planet am I on?
Yeah, that's true. And I would, I'm already just frustrated just thinking about it because I'm always that person.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up and the whole world has decided that they love or hate something. And I'm like, I didn't get that, Mama.
Yeah, like Nickelback?
Yes.
Right.
I woke up one day and everybody was just trashing on Nickelback and like the internet hated them. And I'm like, oh, we hate Nickelback?
But just for the record, tell them how.
You hated Nickelback before everybody else hated Nickelback because you did not like his voice because you are a hipster.
I'm just saying, I just wanted it clarified that, I was the original, hater. Nickelback hater.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying people can't hate Nickelback. Okay?
Right.
It's just that I woke up one day and they were the butt of every joke.
No, it's true. It's true.
And it was very weird because we never talked about it. It just happened.
But I have to say in their defense that after the fact, like they've played into some of the memes with regard to them pretty well. Like there's that photograph one. Yeah. And like they've done some things that are pretty funny in response to that kind of stuff. So yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate that they don't mind being the butt of jokes.
Right. No,
jokes.
I think that if you're going to be the butt of a joke, you might as well be good humored about it because it just wins you points.
Well, it reminds me of that time when Obama first saw the meme of himself dipping a cookie that was too big into a glass of milk. And he was like, haha, that's really funny because it goes, thanks, Obama. Right. And so then, like, the next scene, it showed him actually trying to dip it, and he goes, oh, thanks Obama. Like, that's great. That's fucking funny.
You should always own jokes made about you. You know, it's one of the most terrible things that I've seen. What's his name? Jimmy? No, not Jimmy.
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
When he does the mean tweets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every once in a while, someone comes on there and they read a tweet about them and they get really pissed off.
So mad. And they're like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm like, no. That's not the correct response.
No, yeah. Like, the best ones are the ones that are like, yeah, that's probably true.
Right.
Or they say something like, ha, gotcha, that's back.
Right, yeah.
Like, you can only make a comeback if it's a good comeback. Otherwise, you gotta just, yeah, I probably do smell like corn.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that, right.
Like, does my nose look like that? I never looked like.
Right.
You just gotta own it.
Yeah. I totally agree.
I love Kimmel's mean tweets.
I mean,
honestly.
They have their place for sure.
They have their place. How did we get on that topic?
I have no idea. Like, I lost track of how we lost track.
Okay.
So, I have no clue.
Because at the end of 70 years...
Oh, yeah.
We're going to forget about it.
We already forgot about Tyre. See? It worked.
It's true. Oh, my God. But at the end of these 70 years, it will happen to Tyre as in the song of the prostitute.
What the fuck?
You know that song?
What is the song of the prostitute? I need to know.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best here.
Wait, is there a song?
Of the prostitute.
This is the song of the prostitute.
Take up a harp, walk through the city, you forgotten prostitute. Play the harp well, sing many a song, so that you will be remembered.
That's terrible.
Do we like that?
That's terrible. It's terribly great.
Okay.
Because you did a great job and a great rendition there.
Okay,
so I appreciate what you did for that song, but that song is terrible.
But here's the thing though, it's not as good rendered into English.
No,
I'm sure if it was still in Hebrew or Greek or Latin that it would sound better.
Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about that.
Well, I think that it would sound more
songish
and more somber, more serious.
Okay, all right.
Less silly.
They definitely need to work on the name.
The prostitute. The song of the prostitute.
Yeah.
I want that on my shirt.
Do you? If you had a shirt for everything that you said you wanted the shirt for, we wouldn't have any room for shirts in this fucking place.
Okay. Have I said the ones that I want from Gilmore Girls?
Yes, you have.
Have I said it on here?
No, I don't believe you have.
Okay. So, I don't know.
So, wife is a big fan of Gilmore Girls, first of all. Like,
I was just going to say, I don't know if any of you have watched the show Gilmore Girls, and just let me put out there, the show is definitely problematic. Okay.
Sure.
Super ableist and privileged. Like, I fully admit that it's completely problematic.
Right.
But I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it's what feels like fall going into Christmas to me. And so it's been several years, and so I started watching it again, and I forgot, well, there's this one character named Kirk, and it's played by Sean Gunn, and he was in whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Anyway, he's great. He plays a great side character.
Got it.
And in Gilmore Girls, he's like every background job is him. He does every background job.
Okay.
So anyway, at one point he's making shirts, and there's these two guys that come up, and they're going to do this Edgar Allan Poe reading, but they got their signals crossed, and they both ended up reading the same one. They had both accidentally picked The Raven. Because what else are you going to read at a Poe reading?
Well, there are plenty of other good choices, actually.
Right, but it just makes sense. So they were fighting each other. So Kirk made shirts that said faux pose are foes. Faux pose foes.
Got it.
Yeah. Like faux, like FAUX.
Right. Pose.
Foes.
Right.
Yeah. And I busted a gut. I love a good literary joke. That was a really long-winded way of saying
you want that t-shirt, you like t-shirts, and you want t-shirts of things.
I love t-shirts that are clever.
Sure.
Okay, so the harp with the prostitute and and the singing. Okay. At the end of 70 years, the Lord will deal with Tyre. She will return to her lucrative prostitution.
Okay.
And will ply her trade with all the kingdoms on the face of the earth. That is a lot of humping.
And yeah. Well, I don't think that that's what I think that they're saying. This is they're calling the entire city a prostitute.
Oh.
And
okay, sorry.
So yeah, I don't think that they're not. It's not a city filled with. It's not a city filled with prostitutes.
The city of Tyre is a prostitute.
Right.
Okay, got it. And so the city is bad or whatever.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Yet her profit and her earnings will be set apart for the Lord. They will not be stored up or hoarded. Her profits will go to those who live before the Lord for abundant food and fine clothes. The end.
Wait, they just said that it was going to go back to its ways that were bad, but the money is going to go to God?
Yep.
Is that kind of?
Yes.
Maybe I misinterpreted that, but that's what it sounded like.
That's what it sounded like to me. She's gonna return to her lucrative prostitution.
That's really fucked up. So I'm reading this, and again, we haven't done our Q&A yet, so I'm probably completely off base here. But I'm reading this as God doesn't give a fuck where the money comes from as long as it's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right to me.
That does sound about right, doesn't it?
If it's not how it's interpreted, then it still sounds right with regard to churches.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Either way.
Churches are for sure prostitutes.
Right. Yeah. So, was that all we have for today?
That's all we have for today.
Okay. So, that puts us at the end of Isaiah chapter 23.
Sure as fuck does.
And if you are not on our Discord channel, that ends our discussion for today. But we will be continuing our discussion with the people that are in our Discord as we sign off here. So, if you would like to do the same,
you should come meet us next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern and hang out with us in our Discord.
Yeah, we also do an occasional one on Sundays in the afternoon. So do that. We'll see you there the next time.
And tomorrow we will cover Isaiah chapter 24.
Oh, and just for the record, the link for the Discord channel is in the show notes. So just check that out and click on the link and then join us there.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.